what's up, guys? This is Guy here. Welcome to this. I feel like my audio is having issues. One moment. All right, I'm glad I fixed it. I selected a different microphone. Welcome to the live today. My name is Guy Bisuku, and I always come on Sunday on this channel to share with you what I know and what I'm learning in this field. And today we're going to talk about FortiSASE. I took an exam yesterday and I passed it. I published on Instagram and Facebook. So if you don't follow me, make sure you follow me on Facebook and Instagram. So I passed the exam named FortiSASE 25 Administrator. It's the new version of the FortiSASE exam, and I'm going to give you to tell you my experience, and then maybe help you prepare for yours if you're going for it. But also at the same time, if you're on this channel and you don't know what SASE is, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what that means. What is SASE? If you never heard of it, today I'm going to talk about it, and then we'll just tell you about my whole experience and what I used to prepare for the exam, and then how I got it on the first try. And it's a relatively affordable exam. I wouldn't say simple, but it's not as hard as some other exams that are out there from Fortinet. For me, it took me about 2 days of watching the training and then practicing in an environment where I had access to a FortiSASE portal, which I can't share with you right now because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share it. But I'll make sure that I check and see if I have the right to come and show you that dashboard, so you can also see what's going on in there, because I understand that it can be hard to prepare for the exam if you don't have all the resources that you need. But the training course that is available on the website is already good enough for you to get started and to get to where you want to be able to take the exam. So, like I said, my name is Guy, and on this channel, I bring you in my lab. I tell you what I do, I show you what I'm learning, and I give you what I know. And if you want to follow me on social media, I already show that. But I also create for you courses. The main course that I have right now is the CCNA 200 301 training that is available on en.kbtrainings.com. It's available in English and in French as well, but most of you, and I hope or I think, you don't speak French. You don't need to, so English is all you need. But I also have other trainings in French as well. So on en.kbtrainings.com, it's only for English trainings, and I'm also planning to create a lot of trainings on Fortinet stuff as well, because I do a lot of that every single day. So I'm going to bundle it together in terms of in trainings or lessons that I'm going to make available for you guys. So like I said, I took the FortiSASE Administrator 25 exam, and this is my dashboard. Oh, sorry guys, I think my screen is not ready. One moment, it should be this one. All right, so this is my my dashboard of achievements on my Fortinet training website. The exam I took yesterday is this one here, FortiSASE Administrator version 25. As you can see, I also took the version 26 a couple months ago. I think this was September 2024. I'm in the process of adding more exams to my portfolio, or more certifications. The one I'm going to go next for is the FCC or FCSS ZTNA. That one is the one I'm going to do next, and for that I will be studying for the NAC exam. NAC training, and then I'll do EMS training, and then I'll do FortiAuthenticator training, and then I'm going to do the ZTNA exam at the end of that, because inside ZTNA I'm going to use extensively these three components here. So that's just on the side note. But I passed the exam version 25. Let's see, where's my... Okay. Hey, Rafael, how you doing? Yeah, just listening. Thank you, Rafael, for being live. And I'm glad you are there and you said hi in the chat. If you are also watching on Facebook, make sure you say hi in the chat as well, because I'm live on Facebook. Perfect. So, the FortiSASE, like I said, I took it last year and I had to take it this year, this week actually. And to prepare for this, what you need to take is the FortiSASE training available on training.fortinet.com. If you go under the library and you scroll down where it says FCSS Secure Access Service Edge. This is the exam I studied with. There's no lab. It's 5 hours of training, and these are the objectives of the course or the agenda, and then all the objectives are here. It's relatively very understandable, and also beyond that, you also need to consult, or you need to review or visit the documentation page. You need to make sure that you know what's going on. You kind of go a little bit deep into the architecture, the concept, the deployment, and all of that can be found under, let's see, if you Google, just go on to Google and look for FortiSASE docs. This is where you can find all the documentation for FortiSASE. You have the admin guide here if you are already using it, or if you want to check specifically how something is done, that's where you're going to find all the information you need. And then you have reference manuals. The most important one is the architectural guide. It's really good, a lot of good concept in there. That's actually where I'm going to be referencing most of my my explanations about SASE today. And I also have a good deployment that I want to show you. I'm now able to show you a screen. What you see here is a screen that is right in front of me, and I will be able to come here. I know it's still at the beginning. The setup is still being worked on. I just have a single light over there, but I'll be able to stand here and write on the screen, explain things, and I hope you're going to like it. So that's my goal. We will talk about FortiSASE really soon when I get there. And just let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this setup. Is it good? Do you like it? Is it interesting? The goal is just to be as efficient as possible in showing you the things that I want to in the best way. So what was I talking about? So yeah, this is the admin guide. But for the exam itself, it was eventless. Like, it was just very good. I didn't have any problem scheduling it at the very last minute, like 2 days before the exam. I scheduled it for Saturday, 9 a.m. my time, and around 8:30 I checked in. Everything went fine, and I was able to stay in the queue for about maybe 15 minutes, going from the number 65 to the number 1. And then I didn't have to do a lot of verification. They already had, I submitted my ID and the pictures of my environment, so I didn't have any extra verification. That's what I meant. Because sometimes when you are online about to take the exam, somebody will call you and they want you to turn your laptop around, your camera around, to show them the areas around you. But this time for me it didn't happen. Right after a few minutes, when I was first in line, I was sent the exam and I was able to open it and started working on it. 30 questions for 60 minutes. And most of the questions are very related to the training that is available on the website and to your own practice that you will have to do. Just be familiar with the dashboard, but the training is already good enough to give you all enough information. And some few changes on the version 25, including, I don't know if version 24 included the FortiManager, but now they're talking about the FortiManager. How do you integrate or how do you link FortiSASE to a FortiManager? And all kind of stuff like that. So I would say it was a good exam. And actually, let me show you my okay, this is actually my scorecard. So this is what I received after I passed the exam. So it was done yesterday, May 31st, and as you can see, you have these 4 main areas that you are being tested on: SASE architecture, SASE deployment, SIA, SSA, and SPA, and then analytics. I missed some questions on the architecture side. I missed a few questions on the deployment side, but I did 100% on SIA, SSA, and SPA, and I also did very well in analytics. And we're going to talk about SIA, SSA, and SPA, what it is exactly. because I understand that SASE is a relatively new technology or concept, and it's a good thing to always cover it briefly just to give you an idea of what it is. And also at the same time, I'm going to practice and see if this screen is really good. And let me know in the comment if you're watching, even if you're not live right now, if you're watching this afterward, let me just know if you like the format. So to get started, I think that's all I can say for the exam. So it was good. There wasn't much to say about it. Just make sure you watch the training, make sure you watch the documents, the admin, no, not the admin guide, but mostly the architecture guide and the few documents that I showed you there. It's always good to be exposed. One moment. So if I go back to here, so the architecture guide and the concept guides are the two documents that I would recommend to definitely watch to prepare for this exam or to read. They were both updated this month, so there is a lot of new information in there. You don't have to read everything from top to bottom, but you need to go check for whatever thing you are working on. If you're covering, let's say, CASB, for example, you need to come here and kind of read a little more about that concept and what you are or you are not able to do with the FortiSASE. All right, so now let me go to the screen and explain to you what SASE is, at least to give you a little bit of an idea. So I'm going on this view here, and by the way, up here I'm also able to change the views because there's nobody there because I'm here, so I am standing right there, so you will see me sometimes. Or you know what, let me switch my OBS on a different screen so I can see myself. I'm able to see what you're seeing. By the way, this is also for your feedback. I'm still working on this new setup. I just want to hear from you and what you think about it. All right, so you can have this view with me in it, or you can also have the full view where it's just the screen, know me on your screen. I hope you enjoy that. All right, let me put this right in the center. Okay, this is looking really good. So FortiSASE, what is it? Before defining FortiSASE, we kind of need to understand usually how companies are set up today, how a lot of companies are set up today. So we're going to pull up our whiteboard. I love it. Look at this. Let's see if I can write on it, the whiteboard. Perfect. All right, so let's say we have a company with an HQ somewhere. This is where the HQ is. And probably somewhere in the HQ, you have a little data center where you have some of your applications. And of course, like everybody today, you have cloud presence with AWS and GCP or Azure. You might be a multi-cloud environment with all these applications. And then, of course, like many large companies, you have different offices across the country or around the world. This is the branch number 1. And then you have the branch number 2. So inside the branch number 1, you have your LAN inside that branch with people connected. Inside the branch number 2, you have a LAN with people connected as well. I need to get used to the fact that I don't block you from seeing what I'm writing on the screen. And of course, you have people working from everywhere. You have people working from home. You have people working in airplanes. I've worked in airplanes. I do it a lot. I actually pay for internet all the time. People working from cafes. I don't know how to, yeah. So these are remote users. They're all remote. How does all of this integrate? Of course, there is the internet, or it might even be, private links, private connections like MPLS, whatever. So the HQ is connected to the internet. All the branches are also connected to the internet. And because these people that are sitting right there need to have access to the applications that are either in the data center and the cloud. For the data center first, here, by default, we usually use VPN. So there is a VPN connection between the branches and the HQ. And for the people that are remote, they also have access to the internet. And as remote users, they can also build tunnels going to the HQ to have access to the applications. For AWS or the cloud is connected to the internet. So you can have a direct connection or like a tunnel to the data center, or you can just access SaaS application directly from the internet. The shift that is happening right now is that in a lot of environments, not a lot of people are working from home, from offices anymore. A lot of people are remote. By the way, I've been working remote since 2021, literally, and that's something that a lot of people do today. It can shift a little bit of the dynamic here, because now you have more connections from people working remote, and now most of the people remote, whatever they do on the internet, you don't have a lot of visibility in it. You don't know what they're doing on the regular web. If you set up your internet traffic to go through the data center to the HQ, that can be okay, because you can see what they do when it goes through the tunnel. If you have split tunnel in place, or if you, I would say, don't have it in place, all their traffic will come all the way to the HQ, and you can verify that. But what's going to happen? You might have a bottleneck here, because everything now is coming through the HQ. If the internet traffic is leaving from there to here, or if it's leaving from there to the internet, I think there is still a problem here where a lot of people are working remote. Now they have VPN connectivity to the data center. And also, depending on where the data center is, let's say this guy that is traveling is probably far away from where the HQ is located and where the firewalls are. So now his packets are going to take a very long distance, increasing latency to come all the way to the HQ, and that can be a problem. But not even talking about the SaaS applications and whatever they have access to going to the internet, there's no way for you to have visibility in what they're doing in that section of your network. And also, you need to maintain these firewalls. You need to make sure they are always on, and you also need to make sure they are powerful enough to support all this traffic coming from the branches and everywhere. And then for the branches, you can decide to apply or to do your security here, all the security profile that the firewall will do. You can do that here at the branch for the traffic going to the internet, or the traffic going back to the data center, or you can skip that and do all the security at the data center level. So this is going to become a little cumbersome if you have a huge deployment, if you have a lot of employees, if you have a lot of sites as well. So one of the solutions that, and mostly around 2020, when COVID hit, actually SASE was actually introduced by Gartner around 2019. But it started becoming popular around 2020. 2021, a lot of people work from home and things like that. So there was a big shift in this kind of architecture, where now solutions like SASE would help. And what is SASE? To me, I would define SASE as just like a big firewall in the cloud, as simple as that. But this is the definition of what it is. It's a cloud delivered security services edge. And why? Because now we go from whatever I showed you before, whatever I designed there, to a design like this, very simple, where you have you have a platform in the cloud where you do all these different components all together in that platform. First of all, you do SWG. SWG means Secure Web Gateway. So now your users can access the internet, or your people that are inside your branches, SD1, or inside your thin edges, they are able to go to the internet through this platform, and you are able to secure it by applying all the good measures. You can use this as a proxy for your internet traffic. You can do SSL verification, deep inspection, and everything you want to apply, IPS, everything you want to apply on your web traffic to make sure that you have control over what your remote users are doing. And when I say remote users, I assume that there are people that work from home, and most of the time they have computer provided laptops, so you are able to manage their endpoints using platform like EMS where they have 40 clients FCT installed on their platforms, on their endpoints, and you are able to check the status of those devices. You are able to apply conditions and policies and everything you want because it's a company provided laptop. We also have web versions web types of access that we're going to cover later. So SWG is for web traffic, internet traffic. You also have CASB. CASB means cloud. Is it access? Cloud Access Security Broker. Dude, I forgot the A. What is the A? Cloud, yeah, I think it's access. All right. Okay, so CASB is also part of SASE. What is CASB? CASB is the service that is going to help you control cloud and SaaS access. SaaS software as a service applications. A lot of people use a lot of SaaS application today. Office 365. Whatever, Salesforce, Google Drive, all those SaaS applications, instead of your users either in the branches or remote, instead of them going all the way out to those applications without you monitoring, managing, restricting and all of that, CASB will be the tool that will help you do that. You can do inline CASB, where you actually deal with the traffic that is in transit between your end users or the workstations and your cloud and SaaS applications. You can also use an API that is available for you to monitor and to have your eyes on the traffic at rest on those platforms, SaaS and cloud platforms. So CASB is a big component as well. Another even bigger component is the ZTNA, Zero Trust Network Access. Actually, I have to say that SASE is built all around zero trust. It's all about not trusting. It's about having, FortiSASE is the SASE implementation from Fortinet, and it's a unified SASE solution because all these components that you see here, SD1, ZTNA, and all of this, it's all Fortinet built. So it's end-to-end a Fortinet solution, unified SASE. We provide everything. So ZTNA is Zero Trust Network Access. Like I said, it's all built around zero trust. Never trust, always verify. So with zero trust, you can designate any of the components of your infrastructure. You can have a hub here or even a spoke. You can designate it as a zero trust network access proxy, where now instead of your remote users going through a certain tunnel to get to the VPN or to get to your private application through a certain tunnel, now they can go directly through the FortiGate that has the resource to use it as a proxy and have access to that web application right away. I've made videos about about ZTNA on this channel, and you can go check out in some of those videos. But I'll come back with more content on ZTNA because I'm planning to implement it in my lab, the lab that is sitting right there. I'm going to get all of this set up and we're going to do it together. I'm going to show you all the details that you need to know. Next, we have firewall as a service. This is a firewall as a service. It's in the cloud. All the security profiles that you want to do, content filtering, IPS, what else? IPS, DLP, and all the security profiles that you usually define on a FortiGate device. You can do all of that in the cloud, and it's hosted for you. And talking about hosting, all of this is actually working using POPs or point of presences or points of presence. Right now, from the latest news, Fortinet has about 160 POPs across the globe. So wherever you are in the globe, you'll have a POP closer to you where you can connect. And when you are provisioning FortiSASE, you need to pick POPs to connect to. You need to pick at least one, depending on the licensing that you have, but you can go by default all the way to 4, depending also on the licensing. But you can also have add-ons to get 16 more to get a total of 20 POPs. So you can get up to 20 POPs. If you are a global enterprise or global company, you can have POPs around the world to make sure that your users are as close as possible to the POP they are connected to, and they are routed efficiently to your resources, either in the data center, in the cloud, or to your SaaS applications. So that's in general what SASE is. And there is a very good integration between SASE and SD-WAN. If you want to talk about SD-WAN here, where, one moment, where an SD-WAN deployment, in general, when you talk about SD-WAN, what do we see? We see hub or spokes. These are spokes in general, or branches, and then we have a hub here. This is hub and spoke topology. You may have more than one hub. So the hub is what needs to be connected to your SASE deployment. And when it does that, SASE also becomes a spoke, which means that now you can have traffic going from your spoke to the hub, to the spoke, but also after that tunnel initialization is done, the traffic can go straight from your spoke to SASE using ADVPN. Auto Discovery VPN is going to create a shortcut between your spoke and your SASE deployment. And of course the hub is connected, and the connections between the hub and SASE is using an IPsec tunnel. I need to mention that. So IPsec is used between these two, and from here you can implement SPA very easily, secure private access, where you can now have access to your private infrastructure that you have inside your company. So that's what I want to say about SD-WAN. And then we have Thin Edge. Thin Edge is another good application of this, where let's say you have a small office that has 10 people, for example, and you want to make sure that those people sitting in that office will have access to SASE, and they actually don't need to create a tunnel to SASE if they are sitting in that office. So what you can do is that you can use what is called a Thin Edge deployment. You can use a 40 AP, or you can use a 40 extender, or you can use what is called a LAN extension using some firewall or even some versions of switches that can connect directly to FortiSASE. So when you have an access point, all you need to do is an internet connection. So if you can connect to the internet with that access point, you can actually broadcast an SSID that is going to be tunneled directly to FortiSASE. So all the users and their mobile devices and laptops and everything that's connected to this SSID will go straight to FortiSASE. And the big advantage here is that you will have a single pane of glass where you can manage all that traffic coming from there, apply all kind of policies, security, everything is centralized here. And by the way, I need to talk about the FortiManager as well. Maybe I can talk about it quickly. Now you can integrate SASE inside FortiManager. So you can push all your objects that you have, or some of your objects that are compatible, you can push them from the FortiManager to FortiSASE, and that's centralized management from the FortiManager. And those of you that are familiar with Fortinet, the manager is a big orchestrator or controller that will help you, deploy a lot of configurations at the same time to many devices or many sites. You can use FortiExtender to have a LAN behind it, and same for this solution here, where you have a LAN and you have users connected to that LAN. They don't need anything else. They will have a tunnel going directly to FortiSASE, and that's how it's going to work for Thin Edge. Of course, we talked a lot about remote users. For remote users, they have a lot of options. You have agent-based access, where you use the FortiAuthenticator, the FortiClients, and the FortiClient is going to be managed by EMS. And EMS is a very big component of this architecture, because that's where we're going to have our tags created for the endpoint. We know if the device is compliant or not. Based on that, we can define what the device has or cannot have access to. And that is the agent-based architecture. It's good. It's actually, I would say it's the most recommended one, because you have full control over the end user. But you can also have agentless deployment. Agentless deployment is mostly for those For those endpoints where you cannot install the FortiClient or you don't have any control over that, it's from like a contractor or somebody, you didn't provide the laptop or the endpoint, so you don't have much authority in telling them what to do with it. So you can do most of this on the web. You can give them web access to your private application through SASE by using a pack file, for example. You can set a proxy with a pack file where all the web traffic now goes back to SASE, or you can even create a bookmark link where you have all your applications on a certain web page, and people can access that web page and will be able to go back to your applications through your SASE. And of course you can apply all the security and everything you need to do from there. So I think in general that's all I can say about this slide here. There was another good slide that I want to finish with. It's this one here. This is actually combining all the use cases that I mentioned in a single graphic. So here we have here we have SASE right there, of course, going out to the internet. And like I said, SASE is about all these POPs, security POPs that you can pick from. You can choose the one that are closest to you or to your users, and all these different components, they connect to the POPs, and from there, that's where security is applied. That's where all the policies that you can define are applied, and everything can either go out to the internet or go inside your data center and go to your private application. Let's start on this side here. This is where you have your secure SD-WAN deployment. We have an HQ right there. Your different applications and servers are hosted internally. And then, of course, another big component that I have to mention is the FortiAuthenticator. I already mentioned it actually. No, I don't think so. Because you can integrate FortiSASE with SAML. You can integrate it with anything. You can integrate it with Entra ID. You can integrate it with anything you want. But FortiAuthenticator is also a good option for SAML. You can actually use FortiAuthenticator as a proxy for SAML authentication, but that's a different discussion. So here we have our SD-WAN deployed. We have our applications inside the SD-WAN. We have different FortiGate that are spokes in this environment. So people or all these, the hub, the FortiGate hub can be connected to SASE for many reasons. For SPA, for example, or secure private access, if people all over the place want to access these applications, they can get there through SASE, because SASE is connected to the hub, and SASE can bring them back to those applications. Even if these applications are behind a spoke FortiGate, like I said, SASE can actually bring them to that through all this design here, the way it's set up. So you have ZTNA for private access, you have SPA, secure private access, of course SD-WAN, that will help you implement that. For branches, you have thin edges. Remote users can connect to a FortiAP or a FortiLAN extension, a FortiExtender, and they will be connected to a POP as well. And from that, they can also get back to the data center or to those private applications that are hosted over there. One thing I need to mention is the SD-WAN on-ramp. With this one, with on-ramp, any device that you have that is IPsec certified or that can do IPsec can create an IPsec tunnel to FortiSASE, and all the users behind that device, whatever brand it is or whatever model it is, as long as it can have IPsec connectivity to FortiSASE, it's going to have FortiSASE as a default gateway, and all your traffic will go through FortiSASE. That was worth mentioning. So your remote branches can connect to FortiSASE directly. Your home users can use the agentless solution or the agent-based solution with FortiClient. At home, in cafes, in airplanes, they can now connect to a certain POP and work without any problem. What is this one? Yeah, this one is also just an extension of what we saw there, where we have FortiGate LAN extension. We even have spokes connected behind that LAN extension and remote users connected to that LAN as well, and they all go up there. And if you have private servers or private applications here, it's much easier to get access to using this. And I think you realize how easy it is to deploy all of this, all the different scenarios using this centralized point that is FortiSASE. And of course, SaaS applications, all the traffic going from all these different users going to SaaS application can go through FortiSASE, and you can apply, or you can use inline CASB to apply policies, securities, and all kind of restrictions or control that you want over the traffic in transit. Or you can also use the API deployment or the API option to be able to control your data that you have inside these different SaaS applications. So I think that's a quick explanation. I think I can come back with more on SASE. This is just because I didn't have anything planned for today. So I was just like, instead of not going live, let me just go live and explain what I studied this week and what I did at the exam. Let's see. This is the administrator. Oh no, this is the where the different use cases. Yeah, there's a lot to see there. So it all starts in the documentation page where you can pick whatever you want. The admin guide is also a very good thing to look at if you are already in the environment. You can check literally how to implement whatever you want to do on that on the platform. But like I said, for the exam, I heavily recommend to read the admin guide and the concept guide. Let's open the concept guide and see what's in there. Yeah, okay, this was actually inside the concept guide. And that was the, we had the concept there, challenges. Yeah, one of the challenges of the design that I showed you before is that now you have unsecured connection between your remote users and the internet, and the remote users and SaaS applications and public cloud. So that was the big challenge. And then there's I want to talk about this. One second. Where is architecture components? These are the different components that we talked about. Okay, so this is what I was looking for. I want to just say a quick word about all these three things here. So the first one is SIA, or secure internet access. Like I said, it's going to help you secure your internet access because your traffic will go through a centralized point where you can apply all your SWG and CASB policies for secure web gateway and cloud access security broker. That's SIA. SPA, or secure private access. This is for private access to your private applications. Actually, CASB should actually be down here. So this is secure SaaS applications. So secure SaaS access. You have security when you're accessing your SaaS application. So SIA, SPA, and SSA, that's what they mean when it comes to SASE. So I think that's all for now. I can go back to my place. Then you have the conclusion there. Yeah, I would really encourage you to read the documents. There is a lot of details there that I didn't even cover, but even for your exam, it's going to be a huge help. All right. Thank you, guys. I see a lot of comments there. Men's plus design. Raphael, this full view is nice. Oh, you said full view is nice. Okay, thank you for the feedback. So you like this view better than that view? Okay. Yeah, I can do that too. I can do mostly this, and then if I want to show my face, then I can do this and move my hands around. All right, thank you, Raphael, for the feedback. Dieu est grand. This man is an expert. Thank you, Dieu est grand. It's a pleasure. Thank you for being live with us today. Thank you, Ndiaye Abdou Aziz. All right, guys, that's all I have to share with you for today. Like I said, I spent most of my week or late last week preparing for this exam, and I was able to pass it. I was glad I passed it Saturday morning, and now I just covered a little bit of what I learned during that training. Bakary Guindo, oui, je vais très bien. Bakary Guindo is speaking French, and if you want to watch, I actually did a presentation in French on FortiSASE. It's on my channel, my French channel that is called KBTrainings en français. You can go watch it there as well. Um, yeah, that's all I had to show you today, guys. I think I'm gonna chill for now. I was live in English earlier, I mean in French earlier, and it took me forever, literally, because I received a lot of questions there, and it was really fun. So my name is Guy, and if you like what I do, don't forget to follow me on social media at Guy Bisuku or KBTrainings. And if you are interested in any of the trainings that I provide, they're on my channel. I mean, on my website, en.kbtrainings.com. For now, the CCNA is what's there, but sometime in the next few weeks, I'm going to add more trainings that I'm in the middle of creating for you. All right, guys, I think that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and it's always a pleasure. Have a good one. If you have any comments and you're watching this after my live, make sure you leave a comment below, and most importantly, like the video and share it as well. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye.